Hi, I'm Veda. All my friends say I'm the practical one, always thinking ahead. That caution saved my ass 5 years into what I thought was a perfect marriage with Eric. Babe, what if we knocked down this wall? Open concept is so hot right now. That was Eric last week, his third renovation idea this month. I smiled and nodded, like I always do. What he doesn't know is that this two-story Victorian isn't our house. It's mine. 3 years before I met Eric, my grandma passed and left me her home. It was unexpected, considering I was only 24 and barely making rent at my apartment. You always loved this place more than anyone, Veda. It's yours now. Just promise you'll be careful who you share it with. Grandma's words stuck with me, especially after Jason, my ex, tried claiming half my savings when we split. I learned my lesson about mixing love and assets. When Eric and I got serious, I never corrected his assumption that we were renting. 5 years of marriage and he still doesn't know. Maybe that makes me dishonest, but my gut said to wait. You really never told him? Girl, that's either genius or trouble waiting to happen. That was Claire last month during our wine night. My best friend since college, she's the only person besides my brother who knows. It's not like I'm hiding a criminal past. It's just insurance. Claire laughed so hard she snorted Cabernet. Insurance against what? Eric worships the ground you walk on. He does seem perfect on paper. Charming, successful at his consulting job, and everyone loves him. Especially my mother, who's been dropping grandkid hints since our second date. My brother Thomas is the only one who's been skeptical. Something about him feels off. I can't put my finger on it. I dismissed Thomas as being overprotective. Brothers, right? Last weekend, Eric brought over his work friend Nathan for the game. Nathan could barely look me in the eye all night. How long have you guys been in this place again? Nathan asked during halftime. 5 years this August, I answered. Nathan shot Eric this weird look before mumbling something about getting another beer. When they left for a cigar on the porch, I overheard Nathan whispering, Dude, you can't keep stringing her along like this. Just tell her. Mind your business, man. Everything's going according to plan. I didn't think much of it until yesterday. I was working from home, tucked away in the upstairs office when I heard Eric come in early. He wasn't alone. This place is gorgeous. Victorian, right? Must be worth a fortune now with property values in this neighborhood. A woman's voice I didn't recognize. Yep, once I get my name on the deed, we're golden. I figure we can list it next spring, walk away with at least 600 grand. My blood went cold. Did I hear that right? What about your wife? You said she's attached to this place. Veda? She'll get over it. Besides, once the papers are signed, it won't matter how she feels about it. I froze at the top of the stairs, my heart pounding so loud I was sure they'd hear it. Who was this woman, and what papers was Eric talking about? 5 years of marriage, and suddenly I realized I might not know my husband at all. I waited until Eric left for his client dinner before making my move. The woman's voice echoed in my head as I slid his laptop from his messenger bag. Password protected, but after 5 years of marriage, I knew his pattern. Our anniversary plus his lucky number. Bingo. His email loaded, and I felt like a criminal snooping through his messages. That feeling vanished when I saw an entire folder labeled house plans. Inside were dozens of exchanges with someone named Melissa. She still has no idea the house is worth triple what she thinks. Keep playing the loving husband a little longer. Once you're on the deed, we're set. Eric's response made me sick. Getting closer every day. Brought up adding me for security purposes last week. She seemed receptive. I scrolled further back, discovering an entire relationship hidden in plain sight. Melissa wasn't just his accomplice. She was his girlfriend. Photos, explicit messages, even hotel receipts. I grabbed his phone next. No passcode. He'd always said he had nothing to hide. What a joke. His recent calls showed Melissa daily, plus several to casinos and, more alarmingly, loan services. A bank statement caught my eye. Eric was drowning in debt. Nearly $200,000 spread across 6 credit cards and 2 personal loans. No wonder he wanted the house. What are you doing? I jumped, nearly dropping the phone. Nathan stood in the doorway, keys in hand. Eric forgot his presentation clicker. He sent me to... What's going on? I held up the phone. How long have you known? Nathan sighed, shoulders slumping. Can I sit down? Talk. Now. Look, I tried warning you without really warning you. Eric's been in trouble for months. The gambling started small poker nights, sports betting. Then it got serious. And Melissa? His boss's assistant. It started about a year ago. My stomach twisted. A year? We renewed our vows on our 4th anniversary? I know. I was there. What's the plan with my house? Nathan looked genuinely confused. Your house? I thought you two were renting. I laughed bitterly. That's what everyone thinks. The house is mine, inherited before I met him. He doesn't know. Nathan's eyes widened. Holy shit. That changes everything. Tell me the plan, Nathan. He needs money fast. Serious people are looking for repayment. The plan was to get added to the deed, force a sale, take his half, and file for divorce. The room spun. And what does Melissa get? Besides Eric? A nice commission. She's a real estate agent. Everything clicked. The woman in my house was sizing up her listing. Does she know about the debts? No way. She thinks he's just unhappy in the marriage. If she knew about the gambling, she'd run. I grabbed a glass of water, mind racing. When is this supposed to happen? He wanted it done before Christmas, told his bookie he'd have the cash by New Year's. I nodded slowly, a plan forming. Nathan, I need a favor. I've said too much already. You've said exactly enough, but I'm not confronting him yet. I need time to get everything in order. What are you going to do? Nothing that isn't deserved. Just don't tell him about this conversation. Nathan hesitated. He's my friend, but what he's doing, it's not right. You know what's also not right? Letting someone walk into a trap when you could warn them? After Nathan left, I called the 2 people I trusted most. Claire, get Thomas and come over. We need to talk. Claire arrived with a bottle of tequila. Thomas brought his lawyer face. He wants to what? Claire paced around my kitchen island. Thomas remained eerily calm. I never trusted that smooth-talking bastard. I need a plan, not I told you so. I downed my shot. Claire stopped pacing. What if the house suddenly became worth way more than he thinks? How? My firm is handling PR for that new tech campus. What if your neighborhood was supposedly being considered for a massive development project? Property values would skyrocket. Thomas leaned forward. And if Eric thought he was about to get his hands on a gold mine? He'd show his true colors to everyone, I finished. We spent hours crafting our strategy. Claire would create fake development materials. Thomas connected me with his friend Sandra, a ruthless divorce attorney. The next morning, I called Sandra. I need everything locked down before he suspects anything. The house, accounts, everything. Smart move coming to me first. We'll file protective orders for your assets immediately. Keep playing along until we have everything documented. That evening, I casually mentioned to Eric that my brother had heard rumors about a development project. Really? What kind of project? Some big tech company. They're apparently buying up properties at triple market value. I watched his eyes light up with dollar signs. We should consider selling if that's the case. But I love this house. I purposely sounded uncertain. Though I guess with that kind of money, we could buy something even better. Exactly. We'd be stupid not to consider it. The trap was set. Over the next week, Claire worked her magic. Fake flyers about the development appeared in mailboxes. A community meeting was announced. Eric took the bait completely. Babe, I've been thinking. What if we added my name to the deed? For protection, you know? If something happened to you, I'd have no legal right to stay here. That's actually a good point. I forced a smile. Let's talk to a lawyer next week. Meanwhile, I arranged a dinner with Eric's parents, who adored me. Claire strategically dropped by with official-looking development documents. These just came to our office. Your neighborhood properties might be worth millions soon. Eric's father whistled. That's incredible timing. You two should hold on to that place. Well, actually, Eric jumped in, We're considering selling as soon as possible. But Veda loves that house, his mother protested. Sometimes you have to make smart financial decisions, Eric responded dismissively. His parents exchanged concerned glances. Later that night, I secretly recorded Eric on the phone while I pretended to sleep. It's happening, Melissa. She's adding me to the deed next week. Yeah, I know. Then we wait for the development deal, force a sale, and I'm out. She has no clue. I'll finally pay off those bookies and have plenty left for us. The following evening, Eric came home with champagne. Let's celebrate. I scheduled the appointment with the lawyer for Monday. You seem really excited about this deed thing. Just protecting our future. He kissed my forehead. As he showered, his phone buzzed. A text from Melissa. Congrats, baby. One step closer to freedom and fortune. Can't wait to celebrate properly tomorrow night. I took a photo of the message, then deleted it from his notifications. Monday wouldn't be the victory he expected. Monday morning, I called Eric with news that would change everything. The lawyer had a cancellation. Can you make it home by 6? I'm hosting a small dinner to celebrate afterward. Who's coming? Just your parents, Nathan, my brother, and Claire. Oh, and I invited your boss since you're always talking about impressing him. My boss? That's great, babe. Really thoughtful. I spent the day preparing, not just dinner, but evidence. Printed emails, bank statements, recorded conversations, photos of text messages with Melissa, all neatly organized in folders. By 6, everyone had arrived except Eric. His boss, Mr. Reynolds, chatted with Thomas while Claire helped me in the kitchen. Are you sure about this? It's not too late to do this privately. He was going to humiliate me after taking everything. Public consequences for public plans? Eric finally arrived, looking nervous when he spotted his boss. Sorry I'm late. Traffic was insane. I kissed his cheek. Perfect timing. The lawyer just emailed the deed documents. Eric's parents beamed with pride. His father raised a glass. To adding Eric to the deed. A smart move for your future together? Actually, I projected the document onto our dining room wall. Let's all review it first. I want to make sure everything's correct. Eric shifted uncomfortably. We don't need to bore everyone with legal details. It's not boring at all. See, this document doesn't add Eric to the deed. It's actually a quit-claim deed, removing any possible interest he might claim in my property. The room went silent. Your property? His mother asked. Yes, this house has been mine since before I met Eric. I inherited it from my grandmother. Eric has been under the impression we were renting. Eric laughed nervously. What are you talking about? We've always shared, like you've shared everything with me? Like your relationship with Melissa or your gambling debts? I clicked through a slideshow of evidence messages, bank statements, photos of them together. 6 credit cards maxed out, 2 personal loans, bookies looking for payment, and a girlfriend ready to list my house once your name was on the deed. Mr. Reynolds stood up, face dark with anger. Melissa, my assistant? The one who's been processing your excessive business travel reimbursements? Nathan couldn't meet Eric's eyes. Man, I tried to tell you this was wrong. Eric's mother started crying. His father looked murderous. It's not what it looks like, Eric stammered. Veda, baby, I can explain everything. Save it. Here's what happens now. I handed him an envelope. Divorce papers and an eviction notice. You have 48 hours to remove your belongings. You can't do this. I'm your husband. A husband who planned to steal my inheritance and leave me with nothing. I'm sorry, okay? I made a mistake. The gambling got out of control and I panicked. We can fix this. There's no fixing betrayal at this level, Eric. I don't want your apologies or excuses. 3 months later, I sipped coffee on my porch with Claire and Thomas. Eric's boss fired both him and Melissa, Thomas reported, and those bookies finally caught up with him. He's crashing on Nathan's couch while declaring bankruptcy. Karma's a bitch? Claire laughed. The house never felt more like mine, I said, looking around at the fresh paint and new furniture. I'm thinking of starting a support group for people who've dealt with financial infidelity. From victim to advocate. Thomas nodded approvingly. As my brother and best friend bickered about dinner plans, I felt a peace I hadn't known in years. The painful lesson had made me stronger, smarter, and strangely grateful. Some people show you exactly who they are when they think they're about to get what they want. In my case, that revelation had saved me from losing everything. Would you have done what Veda did by exposing Eric publicly in front of everyone who mattered to him? Or would you have handled it privately? Was the public humiliation justified? Or did she go too far? The choice between private confrontation and public exposure is never easy when someone betrays you this deeply. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about standing up to toxic people. New videos every day. Every